There is something so simple and yet so complex about living in one place and experiencing the dance of seasons around you. It's now August and everything is so full of life. The fields are blooming with flowers, as if the earth itself is celebrating this magical time. And I'm so happy to be a part of this celebration. As I walk among the wildflowers, I can't help but think about the stories they hold. Each flower is like a tiny universe of its own, carrying the secrets of survival and resilience. They go through storms, rains, and scorching sun, telling a story of growth, change, and adaptation. Their stories resonate with ours. They're just like us. It's so peaceful here. This place is actually quite far from where I live. It takes me about an hour to reach it with my bicycle, but it's so worth it. Just look at this beauty. It's about 6 in the morning right now, so yeah, I had to wake up very early today to come here at this time. But I kinda used to wake up early in summer. In winter, I can sleep very long and I need to force myself to get up from the bed. But it's just so much easier in summer. It's more natural for the body to wake up with the sun, and I just love being outside at this time. I have my two big reasons for this. The first is how peaceful everything is in the morning. Even the city is very quiet early in the morning. And the second reason is the light. Everything is just so beautiful. I feel like I just can't skip it. I need to be outside. I want to soak every moment of this beauty and just keep it here in my heart. It was raining last night, so everything is very wet now. But I guess that's why this morning is so misty. On my way here, I stopped at one meadow. It was covered in this beautiful soft mist. It was magical, but there was tall grass and of course I was running all over the meadow because I wanted to film everything. So now my sneakers are fully wet, but I have no regrets. I don't know about you guys, but I always feel like days in summer are just slipping by. Maybe it's just me, but here in Finland our winters are long and cold. Every winter I dream about the warmer days and summer. But when the summer comes, I'm so obsessed that it won't last long enough that I almost forget to enjoy it. I feel like I'm running behind and I'm always late for something. This summer I wanted to change this. I needed to do so in order to feel more fulfilled. I think each day is a precious gift and I want to make the best out of it. Lately my days have settled into a simple and comforting rhythm, and I found contentment in these little moments in life. I used to believe that life's fulfillment came from chasing one big adventure after another. I was always looking for the next big thing to bring me happiness. And don't get me wrong, I still love those exciting adventures, but I've come to realize that the joy they bring can be fleeting, leaving us wanting for more. And I think life's best part isn't always about epic events. It's also about finding joy in the small and quiet moments of everyday life. Of course, they may not sound as exciting as a wild adventure, but they hold a different kind of magic. The magic of feeling rooted and connected. As I've gotten older, I've come to appreciate these moments even more. This kind of routine helps me to bring a sense of stability and peace to my days. This morning I took my bike and went on a little adventure. Remember, I've told you how much I love being outside early in the morning. Well, just look at this. I have like the whole road only to myself. Except for the moments I had to share it with some cute furry inhabitants. So basically my plan was to go pick some herbs. So I went outside the city, as it's better to do that in places where the air is cleaner and there is less pollution. This summer I spent so many hours collecting wild herbs and preserving them for winter for a cup of tea. It sort of turned into my new little obsession and I enjoyed it so much. But honestly, for me, it's just one more reason to escape the city and spend some extra time out in nature. I can't even put into words how happy I am now that I can just grab my bike and in like 5 or 10 minutes run out of the city and find some peaceful spot under the trees or near the river. As a kid, I basically lived on a bike. I grew up in a village and I used to pedal to school every single day. My parents didn't have a car, so we relied on bicycles just for everything, like to go to the nearest town for some shopping or to go to the fields or forest to get some work done. And I loved this little trip so much. Later on, when I moved to a big city, I kinda struggled without that kind of freedom and because of the lack of space in some way. So now I'm so happy to have this possibility back again and I'm taking full advantage of it. Back to the herbs, early in June I gathered strawberry, raspberry and currant leaves. They have a rich berry flavor that is perfect for making a delicious cup of tea. There are many ways to work with herbs to preserve their flavor. I wanted to try something a bit special, so I decided to experiment with fermentation. First, I washed the leaves. I know that it's not recommended, but I wanted to clean them of dust and so on. Once the leaves were dry again, I packed them into jars and placed them in the freezer for 24 hours. It helps to soften the texture of leaves, making them easier to work with. The following day I extracted the leaves, and that's when the main part of fermentation began. So basically, for fermentation you need to break the texture of leaves in order to release their essential oils. To do this, I rolled a few leaves together in my hands until they change color. Then I cut the rolled leaves into smaller pieces and repeated this with all the remaining leaves. This process can be a bit time-consuming, but the final result is worth it. After all the leaves were rolled and cut, I covered them with a damp towel and put a weight on top to squeeze the leaves down. And once again, I left them sit for 24 hours. I also harvested fireweed leaves and flowers. To be honest, this plant is something new to me. We made tea from different herbs and flowers before, but never from this one. Although it's quite popular and has a flavor very similar to traditional black tea, so I did all the same steps with this plant as well. After the leaves have settled for 24 hours, the fermentation needs to be stopped. For this, I put leaves in the oven at 60 degrees Celsius for an hour with the door slightly open, and then I let them dry for a few days at room temperature, and that's it. So now it's all set for the winter. This summer for me has also been a time of cooking. I fell in love with baking and making things from scratch. I think that learning how to cook is probably one of the best financial decisions, especially now when prices are going up, because in the end it does save a lot of money and also improves the quality of what you eat. There is something so satisfying in knowing that the food I make is good for me and the people I love. For me, the process of cooking is almost like an art, and it became even more enjoyable when I started growing my own vegetables. This summer, I'm getting so many tomatoes. I have only 4 plants, but the amount of fruits they give is just insane. I think this year I'm harvesting even more tomatoes than last year from 10 plants. Probably that is because now I'm more familiar with the species I grow and I know what fertilizer is better. And now summer is slowly coming to an end. As for me, I still have 1 page of summer left. My sister and her kids are going to visit me soon, and I'm so excited about it. I haven't seen them for a while since traveling to and from Ukraine is quite a challenge now. There are no flights and the queue at the western border can last for hours. So the journey won't be easy for them, but hopefully they'll manage to make it and we'll have some good time together. So thank you so much for being a part of this video journey, and I wish you a lovely ending to your own summer. See you soon, bye!